Theresa Derwin writes horror, dark comedy. She has just achieved her MA degree in creative writing. She is the 2019 Horror Writers of America Mary Shelley Scholarship recipient, and she has over 60 anthology acceptances, 4 collections, and she has edited 10 anthologies. Go for it, Theresa.
Thank you for having me. I will warn you that I'm recovering from a little chest infection type thing, so I am a little bit huskier than I normally would be. Okay, I'm reading from Shift Left for Love, and this story actually got me on the Ellen Datlow list for 2021 for my first time ever, which was fantastic. I was very chuffed to bits, especially because it contains romance, which, given where we were during the pandemic, I wanted to add a bit of fun to some of my horror. So here we go. Shift Left for Love. Tabitha toddled over to the play area, nervous but wanting to at least try to be with the regular kids on her first day of primary school. Her mum, tears in her bright blue eyes, had whispered, "Try, Tabby. Try to be normal. For Mummy, please." Then she left in her expensive car, not once looking out at her 4-year-old daughter, who had trembling lips. Tabby walked across the massive playground to the sandbox. Shortly after, a shadow passed across her. She looked up to see a 4-year-old boy with bright, furiously red hair looming over her. He leaned over, sniffed, then pushed her forward onto the grotty sand. She fell face first into the sandpit, spluttering tiny pale legs kicking up in the air as she bawled, before flopping onto her back, pink knickers showing. The boy stuck his tongue out at her. "Pooh face!" Then, for no reason her young mind could fathom, he said, "Me, Josie, you smell funny." Anger soared through Tabby's veins, her chubby hands making little fists. She climbed awkwardly to the edge of the sandpit, stumbled forward screaming, "Big pooh face!" and pushed him back. A little blonde doll, Elisa, ran over to Tabby as she curled into a ball, crying, not understanding why the Josephs seemed to hate her. Mrs. Yo-Yo, the primary teacher, ran over to the cluster of children. "What happened?" she asked, voice firm as she leaned over to check the grazies they both sported. "Miss Yo-Yo? Him," Tabby wailed. "Oh, sorry." Sitting up to point at the boy who shook his head from side to side. Elisa nodded, pointed, and Miss Yo-Yo shook her head in dismay. "Josie O'Rourke, tell me what happened, please." Oh, thought Tabby, she's using the voice. Elisa and Tabby became instant BFFs. Josie never pushed Tabby again, though he did have a terrible habit of teasing her from then on. Adult Tabitha snickered, then sighed, a deep pang of emptiness and loss as she remembered the last time Joseph tried to tease her. Her little plan for revenge, then him moving away with no warning after his last attack, the one she thought at first that she had caused. Tall, rangy and freckled, 14-year-old Joseph was still cute as far as Tabitha was concerned. It annoyed her that she kind of liked him despite his proverbially pulling her pigtails. No, she'd never been a pigtail kind of girl. In fact, like some of the other girls, she would watch the boys playing football. Every now and again, the ball would fly their way, and they ducked to avoid broken noses. She'd catch it easy, then throw it back. But for some reason, Joseph found it funny to run straight back to her with it, like he was bestowing on her the ultimate gift. He'd grin and drop it at her feet, wink and stand there watching until she threw it back onto the pitch. Yeah, he'd been a weird one, but she still liked him, even when he was annoying her. Their school hijinks were infamous, Elisa watching eagerly to find out who would throw the next punch. Tabitha's finest and worst hour was the day of the sandwich battle. It was lunch hour, and as usual, she had found a bench outside and Joseph had followed her like a lost puppy. "Hey, how's life at the morgue?" "Life," he yelled, grabbing a seat on a bench and opening his packed lunch. "I don't know, where's your pat of gall, you idiot?" she snapped back at him. "Clarification, I'm Irish and my background is..." "Yeah, two could play at that game," she thought. Tabitha watched covertly, smirking as he unwrapped his sandwich and bit into it. Instantly he started gagging, choking on the sandwich. Then he spit out the remains of mulch bread as something grey and slimy, glaring at Tabitha. "You cow!" He jumped up, his face ruddy, teeth bared at her as he pulled a wriggly, muddy worm out of his lunchbox. Tabitha blew him a kiss and snorted, looking forward to the next battle. But Joseph started coughing again, sweat pouring from his flushed skin. "Oh shit," she breathed, dashing over to him and smacking his back loudly. "I'm sorry, Jojo. Please don't die on me." "Not dying yet, Morticia," he growled, between chugging in great gasps of air. Then, "Phone Mom." Mom? He wants his mom. Head hung over, his eyes flashing from green to gold, rolling back. Tabitha gasped, panic nearly overwhelming her. What if he was allergic to worms? Oh, crap. Grabbing his rucksack, she opened it, emptying everything onto the wooden table, finally spotting his silver flip phone. "Ambulance," she yelled, watching Joseph's already flushed skin turn redder. "Mom!" "Okay, hang on. It'll be okay." She was crying now, blindly hitting the contacts and calling Marie, his mom. "Joe, honey, what?" "No, it's Joseph. I think it's a seizure. Please." "It's okay, hon. We're coming." Tabitha dropped the phone and started to run towards the teacher on duty until a firm hand grasped hers. She waited with him, watched as his breathing finally calmed down and his mum, a glamorous woman in heels with a mass of curly hair, arrived and shooed her away. The next day in class, Miss Guinan announced he wasn't coming back to school. His family had moved away. "Shift left for love. How may I help you?" a husky female voice asked. Tabitha's heavy breathing echoed down the phone line. "Hello," the woman asked. "Maybe she thinks I'm a stalker." That is," Tabitha mumbled. Her palms were getting sweaty, and she'd only just dialed the damn number on the advice of Elisa, her BFF, who'd acquired her latest boyfriend for a new dating company. "Don't worry, Petal," the voice on the phone said. "I'm Natalia. It's difficult for everyone the first time." That's it that I'm reading for the moment, just to give you a little bit of a hook into the story. You can probably guess from the title, Shift Left for Love, that there is a little bit of some sort of shift going on, especially as it's in the anthology Wear Tales from Bridget Gates Press. Speaking of, my giveaway is a paperback of Daughter of Sarpedon. There's a bunch of wonderful authors in that book, and they're all Medusa reimaginings. And my Medusa reimagining starts in a viewing of Clash of the Titans at an old cinema. So, I think I'm out of time, and that's up for me. And thank you, everybody, for coming.